Hey, what's up you guys? This is Captain PZ, and today we're going to be looking at what the devs have to say about the first ever chapter coming to Valorant, which is Ignition. This is what they teased, and this is what we are going to get tomorrow or today, depending on when you are watching this video. The devs did a big live stream talking about the game before launch, and I'm going to be covering that in this video and some others coming soon. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video for more of your Valorant needs. But let's hear what the devs have to say about the first chapter coming to Valorant.
Episode 1, Ignition. Tell us about it. What does this mean? What does episode mean? What does ignition mean? What does it all mean? Please tell us. We want to know. What should we expect when the game launches in a few hours in South Korea and a lot of the Asian countries that are just waiting for this game? Tell us about the Ignition episode of Valorant.
Do you want to do this, Anna?
You can start, Joe. You can start this one. I'm still warming up.
So let's talk about episodes first, the concept of episodes. So when we were starting, early on this year, actually it was late last year, I think, or maybe it was early last year. I'm losing all track of time, so I don't really know. But at some point, Anna and I were talking, we were like, how do we want sort of the rollout of this game to go? How do we want to continue to service it in the future? And so part of it was this idea of releasing things in episodes where we can mark off a period of time to say, hey, this is sort of the thing we're trying to accomplish during this period of time. These are sort of the beats that we have inside of it. And then when we move on to the next episode, we can talk about a shift of how we want to do those beats and how we want to change things up. And it gives us the opportunity to really cut up our delivery mechanisms in ways that really continuously let the game evolve. So our first offering of that is episode 1, Ignition. You can talk about Ignition, Anna, if you want. The title, the concept.
the concept of Ignition. Well, I mean, obviously, it stands for our launch, right? I actually sent a video around to the team today of with the NASA launch VO in the background, and when they yell out Ignition, that is that moment for us. It's our first step out there beyond closed beta into our full worldwide launch to see how this goes and how this journey with players goes. So for us, this moment, this first episode, is all about introducing ourselves to our community, growing that community, listening to that community, and just going for it. And that's what that Ignition is supposed to stand for. And then there'll be some cool CGs come in and some cool stuff coming that'll also help tell a bit more of that story over the coming days.
So these episodes, are there going to be story beats? Is it going to be a thing of there's going to be an ongoing narrative where each episode kind of tells the story developing? Or is it just kind of phases and we're going to get pieces? Or is it going to be a continuing story that's starting with episode 1 and continuing on as more agents and maps are added to the game? The story will build as well.
I think,
Go ahead, Joe.
Right over you.
I think the plan is to continue to evolve the game and the story over the course of these episodes. We debated internally whether or not to call them seasons. I think seasons is very charged. I think there's a lot of expectation built up across different games of what to expect in a season. So we didn't want to anchor ourselves too hard on a list of bullet points that people expect to see in a season, because an esports season might look slightly different. And so for us, it's just how will the game evolve over time in big chunks. Each episode should feel like an evolution of the game in some way, whether that's content drops, feature updates, new features. Each episode should bring something new to the table for players to experience.
That narrative will be building so episode 1 will tell a story, episode 2 will tell a story. So the people who are for the narrative side, who like the characters and the world itself, we're going to get a lot of lore coming through each of these episodes.
I think at first you're going to see in episode 1 we're a little bit lore light, and that's just because a lot of it is we're introducing you just to the agents in the world. We really want to focus on being able to play these characters. Where are they from? What are sort of the things that exist about them? So you won't see necessarily a direct story beat there, but we plan definitely as we add more episodes to actually sort of encompass that and draw that towards a sort of background narrative, one that can be told alongside the game, that you can really feel something amazing.
Well, let's talk about this Ignition episode. What should we expect story-wise and introduction-wise, and what kind of cool concepts and new things are getting thrown into this episode that we have not seen in the beta set thus far?
So I think... Okay. Let's see. So from a creative standpoint, I think you're going to see our launch cast, which is going to be there, which is the 11 agents that we have there. I also think you're going to see like a little bit of our evolved marketing materials that are coming on tomorrow, which are going to be pretty fun to witness. We've seen them already. We've been watching them for the past 2 weeks. Awesome. And that'll begin to introduce you a little bit into some of the stories. As you'll notice, like really, it's going to be focused on the idea of who are these agents in this group called Valorant, and sort of what do they do in the world. Now, it's going to be a little bit mysterious because we're not really very much like a storytelling type game. Like at first, we're very much a PvP kind of focused game, but we definitely are prepping things in the background that are going to be evolving over the course of this episode. So you'll see. Anna, anything?
I've got nothing to add to that.
Yeah, nothing.